back into the mix. We are set for our grand finals for Marble Rivals here for the Canadian Intercollegiate Exhibition. I am very excited to be here. Once again, my name is Orbital. With me is Ninjex, and we will be your two casters for this grand finals. Ninjex, are you excited for U of T Avengers going up against SFU Scarlet?
Oh, we've seen both these teams absolute powerhouse in their semifinal matches, and it's only going to be, yeah, you know what? I might say it, game 5. Game 5.
Yep.
Game 5 situation. But we know how grand these teams have been, especially with Zapped in the case scenario doing so much work with that Star-Lord. We know how much Andag was providing so much IGL and just absolute space with that Hulk. It's just so many key components of what's going to have. It's just going to be, again, quite the difference maker, but it's gonna come down to those bans. Those bans are just gonna be key components in deciding. They haven't been as revealing as we did see in that third place match against Carleton against St. Clair, but this is a different case scenario. Every team is different. We could be seeing some spotlights, some superstars in this side.
Yeah, let's go ahead and run through the rosters very, very quickly here because of the teams. I believe the teams are more than ready to go. Let's start with SFU, I believe, as they are going to pop up on our screen. My, Buns, as well as Zaps, like you were mentioning, and then Game Ninja, Icy, and Busy V. All 6 of these players are hopefully rounding things out very comfortably for this grand finals.
Yeah, we know how well Zapped has been on the Flaker case, and Icy just providing such a difference in a lot of clutch plays from the Adam Warlock gameplay that we saw as the strategists themselves. But we've seen a lot of good gameplay from this team, but we also know another team that have done exceptionally well as we move on to UFT. We're going to take a look on that sideline. We got Angad, Ryan, Rin, Fufu, Alex, and again, we're going to be a sub in this time. No Caprixel. Going to be again joining us on this roster. All right, sorry. Yeah. I don't know.
It's very nice of them. Very, very nice of them to be able to step in here kind of last minute as well. So it's nice to hear that players are willing to step in. Of course, it'll be a test at the end of the day to see exactly how well it's going to play, as I believe we are knee deep into the draft, as well as we already, not the draft itself, but we already know what map we are going to. We're going to Spider Islands. As always, it is the standard, and either that or its path. And, you know, Spider Islands I can deal with.
Spider Islands I can deal with it. Like, we saw the adaptable plays that we saw in the last match, going through that, how even if you're in the choke, you can utilize those lane paths with long range heroes such as Hawkeye, such as Hela, to be able to dink, pick as much as you can of damage as the tanks do what they do best, providing the space while they get pelted by the damage from the front.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, as of course we're diving right on in. The match is started up. I am excited to see what they can throw down here. As you know, the eyes are peeled. Huge heads up as well for either of these teams. They're going to be having a nice little share of the prize at the end of the day. I know it's going to be pretty nice and fun. You can go ahead and see all the players stacked up and ready to go. And I'm sure it's going to be a mess. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the first bans are going to be here on the day. Normally it's Human Torch or Groot. It's primarily been between those two. I think like 80-90% of the time that we've seen it on stream. I'll be curious to see if there is a little bit of a difference though. If it comes out to the mark, 5 seconds left for that first ban. It's going to be Captain America. Interesting.
I'm not that entirely surprised. We know that they can pull off the dive well, but we know UFT are so comfortable in their flyer gameplay with, if they somehow get Human Torch not banned from SFU, which it just comes in the speak of the devil. I was going to mention that if they have another flyer available, they're going to not want that pressure on the back line. Captain America does that so well, and it could provide a thorn in their game style that they're going to try to provide.
This is Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a shake up there. And then, of course, with the Human Torch, it's always a question of what is going to be saved. There's the Iron Fist, though. It was
Ooh.
rocked out before for Scarlet's End. They're the
Oh
ones
yeah.
saying, okay, we want to save that for the for ourselves. And a huge part of that, Scarlet starting out on the defensive will be very, very telling. There's the Emma Frost that Nunobi will most likely be running, but they ban away the Luna,
Ooh.
saying, no, you don't get that safety.
We know that they do like to run that Luna as well for the side of Scarlet. Scarlet are kind of be a little bit hurting on that one. They're gonna guarantee the lock on Emma Frost. So it's the counterintuitive good. I feel like that could be a little bit of targeted ban. They did break it out pretty much most of the time during the last match of UFT. But at the same time, they do have other options. They're gonna guarantee the Groot though. We're gonna see some Groot action in a while. That's gonna be interesting to see how it plays with the Emma Frost, because we know that they like to run the thing as well for the side of UFT. So how are they gonna do with all those walls?
I have no idea, quite honestly. It's very rarely that we get to see Groot kind of hard locked to safety, and I don't think Scarlet did this back in their earlier matches as well. So the fact that they're opting into this and really trying to hang on is going to be surprising, as that is another miss. We'll get eyes on what exactly that is at the end of the day, what that save would be. But this final ban coming in here for U of T, the Avengers, hoping to throw them. And we got word that it is Loki, that it is that save. So you'll have that backline access, that that ability to stay high, and then of course Hela as the ban.
Hello, a good ban. Not gonna allow any sort of long-range engagement. They still have that Hawkeye online unless they ban it here, of course. But Loki, we saw how viable of his utility is with that long-range assault, the clones targeting any sort of lurkers from the back line, the healing crystals that he can place above. Adam Warlock gone. So we have the ban selected, and we might see for the first time in these finals a Spider Venom combo orbital. That's gonna be quite the difference. I feel like if they can pull that off, they're gonna be running for the matches.
Yeah, and that'll put Scarlet into a really nice position as well here in game number 1. On the flip side, we see the Storm, Ange going ahead and throwing that one down. We've seen Storm used to, I want to say, decent extent, depending on how you place it. I mean, the Storm is so powerful. But, you know, how much value are you actually going to get out of it? You go ahead and take a look. Game Ninja rocking out with the Spidey himself, and we'll see if it lands any extra value as Icy goes ahead and goes into that little bit of invulnerability, or not the invulnerability, the invisibility, if you will. Everyone very spread out here for a full collapse.
Yeah, this is gonna be quite this execution could set the tone for the rest of the match. I feel like this is the most crucial moment, is how they start off this in this grand final scenario as we head into the dive versus the pressure. UFT versus SFU. We're getting started. Orbital hit it off.
Yes, we are. So, the opening, you can already see the Loki trying to set themselves up, but I love this house move, dropping the ceiling on him one way or another. And it's an immediate break into the mix. A quick slam as Game Ninja isn't able to really find anything, so backing away with the rest of the team. The UFT bottlenecking very nicely. It's a little bit slow to start, but they are pushing that convoy as simply as possible, as Scarlet, for their own, stepping in and smartly playing their own game here of just rack up the percentages as quickly as possible.
There's the successful dive from the Venom Spider combo. They were able to pick off one with Zaptis doing a hard counter fist fight that he could ever do. He will have already 25, but if we want to keep attention on utility, Icy Surfer almost has their ult already.
And Zap saying, hey, I'll chase you just as well. Gets a clean one onto the back line, and Game Ninja doing the exact same. However, for all these picks, UFT Esports are continuing to push up. They are about to hit one of those major chokeholds, though. That can cause a lot of problems. They've lost members left, right, and center. So far, it's never really stalled them out. That's what we're going to be watching for. A quick kick from Game Ninja, though, as everyone is locked down, as Fufu says no thank you. Really nice pick number 1. Busy Bee gets Game Ninja back into the game. And there's gonna be that twist. Up goes that ult. I see Surfer saying no, you don't get to play as cleanly as you wish. An answer back from Fufu. This is an ult for ult response, but On G says let's go ham. Swinging for the fences, but that's instead a Nunobi saying hello U of T, we are here. Scarlet washed away in 4, and a huge team fight win for the Avengers.
You gotta take a key component out of this play. Fufu using an early invis ult, knowing that they had ult as a response to the absolute Bucky Winter Soldier again soundtrack they heard in the skyline. So they had to use and dedicate a support ult by just comping, and now they can use this invisible ult if they need it in this dire situation, because they're gonna come back swinging with this dive.
They're gonna try their best. That's a quick little snap. Yet again, though, UFT Esports showing that they know how to fight. High ground completely covered by Fufu. And Scarlet are eliminated not once, but twice in a row. It's an easy capture for UFT Esports as they claim that first checkpoint.
That first check, but they had the instigation method, they had the awareness, they knew when they were gonna dive, and they adjusted accordingly. That thing is providing a pretty much tough defense by always focusing where that Venom is gonna go, and it's not really allowing a viability for him to be in coordination with Zapdos or Game Ninja for their successful dive.
I think they're gonna try a little bit further as Buns is trying to step up to play, but Love rips apart Game Ninja yet again, and this time there is no rocket in tow. Busy Bee can't bring that revive around, so tough one to watch for. Right, they go on in Anunobi, throwing down the hands yet again. The thing is rocking out here, and UNT Esports are making a smashing success of this first attack. Denied yet again is SFU Scarlet as UNT Esports take more names. That's gonna be Ange though, swinging hard with this Winter Soldier. That's 2, possibly a 3rd as Scarlet run for the hills.
They now have all strategist ults online. They have the Emma Frost. They're going to have the Emma Frost, Venom, and they have the Iron Fist if needed. But I don't know if that's going to be the correct response. They need that Invisigirl ult and the other strategist ult online. They used the rocket too early, which I feel like is going to hurt them in this next fight here.
That twist. In goes again, though, making sure to have the ult ready to go for the rest of the team. Holding up everyone else. Icy trying to answer, and Zap trying to bring the pain, but there's almost no value coming away. Scarlet sunk so much in, and yet at the end of the day, it's the Avengers who still come out on top. Busy Bee gets the revive, but is it going to be enough? Zaps goes right back into this icky mess, and Buns is already down. UNT Esports putting on a masterclass in how to shut every single angle down. That is going to be 5 on Giselle. Not enjoying this one in my mind. You are gone. That Venom is locked. Team White in favor of UNT Esports.
Yeah, they're gonna have to adjust to the Groot that they saved there now, as they have the Bucky, Winter Soldier, the Frost, and now Groot with the Wolverine. They know that the dives were not working. They were way too keen with the response, having Anja be able to get those picks, Emma Frost, and the thing just not even appealing, not even paying attention to where they are. They were just focusing on the moment that they dive, countered it, and now here they are.
See if they're gonna find any extra as Ange throws everything. And it's so easy for this Winter Soldier. It feels like it's not even a contest as you bring the ult yet again. Not even Groot will save you, as Scarlet are holding up on their last line of defense. It's so tough around this corner, but for the Avengers it feels like it's such a cakewalk. They're gonna go ahead and walk their way in more ways than one, as Scarlet are rebuked. Fufu finding Zap's life. That Wolverine will not play for another 5 seconds. Icy Surfer with the ult trying to bring it around, but Air Striker Alex sending down the ult, breaking up a lot of this fight. That's gonna be a huge immobilization though, and that might be the chance. And Jad is throwing everything to the wall, and it's once again UFT Avengers to bring the pain. Scarlet can do nothing but watch. 3.69 meters, and it might as well be a simple step forward. GG.
Oh my
one. Well, I say it on the attack,
goodness.
as we get to watch what happens next for Scarlet.
I gotta hand it to them. They had such key coordination. If we take a look at back, Groot gets a really, really nasty ult on that last fight, but the Emma Frost had it. They couldn't do anything because they were all attracting to the beauty of Emma Frost with that ult, just absolutely mesmerized. They could not move. They were staggered. They had insane potential. Why? It was a prime counter for the Groot ult. You can't capitalize on a Groot ult if every single one of your members is stunned. They're just following the Emma Frost with that ult. Absolute insane play for the side of UFT.
Scarlet had to do so much here. With a minute 52 left, the Avengers look golden. And I'm kind of curious here. We've seen Scarlet do work, but we know UFT are doing just as much. And I mean, that thing has been amazing so far. Airstriker Alex as well, with that comfortable Magneto. I'm gonna be very, very curious exactly what throws down here. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of a bird's eye view. I don't think anything's really changed. Zaps though, this time on the aggression on the Iron Fist. I wonder if it's actually gonna work out.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what they go through here now as they're getting ready to start their on the attack. What they will respond with on this choke point.
Of course, they're gonna walk around the backside. Zap's trying to find that quick flank, and it looks like he's doing a little bit of damage. Is it actually gonna result in too much? Unfortunately not, as you're immediately forced out of the battle. That's a quick chase as well. The Winter Soldier knocking down Emma Frost. And Mai isn't going to enjoy this one as much. You're sent right back to respawn. Quick punch around.
Ooh,
first 30 seconds are really
pick.
going in Scarlet's way, as the Winter Soldier is already up at 77. This is such a quick buildup of the ult economy for UNT Esports.
What a pick from the side of Anjo, able to get the Groot out of the madness of the chaos of the fight, and absolutely just denies a whole prime reason of their kit, delaying them, wasting even more time. And now they're trying to falter one by one, but he already has ult online, and so does Fufu.
It's just never ending right now. Scarlet trying to fight their way back, and are they going to get convergence on top of this convoy? Maybe they will. Buns is able to find one, but again, it's the thing to really block everything that they want to throw down here. Buns with his group trying to throw down a lot of those walls, but it's not denied. The Game Ninja comes in with an absolute powerhouse of an ult, swipes out UNT Esports, and puts them back to rest. However, they need to find a few more. Down goes and Anunaboy. Anunaboy does the same. And it's quick picks all around as they use Scarlet finally break through the ranks.
Yeah, they had Andrew being able to get that backline pressure, but there wasn't a lot they could do with those support ults. They had it online. They had to dedicate both of them, kept them out living, but they're going to go right back swinging with that TP, going mid-fight into the case. They will have to dedicate multiple ults into this to distract, but that Emma Frost saves them along with the alpha of the cheap on down. How?
I mean, Zaps just swings like an absolute cannon and forces UFT Esports out. As you called, it was a save of 2 ults, and the Avengers were not ready, so Scarlet able to make a punch through, a breakthrough, if you will, of 2. And that's a huge win for them as well, as they lost precious time. They lost a minute and a half in the early stages.
Very, very well done, and it keeps them on the ult economy. They don't have any response. They have proof in case things go awry, but how can they handle the pressure as they're now getting back swinging, and they're already hitting the back line?
Let's see if they can hold on, and it'll be wondering exactly where the HP bar is, and it's just gone. That's finally getting into the rhythm here, clocking some heads. Love does the same, though. In response, UNT are fighting back, this time without ults to play with. It doesn't feel like Scarlet had that manpower, had that punch. Fufu with an ult of their own was able to twist, and Ange is ready on the back line. Again, whenever ults are not in play, it feels like Ange has so much room to work with. And it's doing wonders here. Game Ninja trying to do the same with the Iron Man, trying to float around a little bit. But you only have a minute left, and they still haven't reached that first checkpoint. So for all intents and purposes, UNT had done such a great job in stalling. A quick little punch, though, as Zaps is able to find the Loki. And maybe they find it. Yes, they do. Fufu is now down, and that might be the call to go forward. In everyone pushes Scarlet, making their way in, cutting out Fufu, cutting out Love, cutting out Airstriker Alex, and everyone on the side of UNT will fall as the Avengers back away.
You gotta hand it to Zapdos. He had such a prime position on that rooftop, just playing so carefully, giving information to his team, making sure that there wasn't any key components that he could pull off, like where did interrupt in his dive, got that Loki secured, and that was just the start of the initiation from that fight.
I mean, it was great, and now we get into the next twist. UAT, 2.5 minutes for Scarlet. Can you hold out? That is the question. A quick ult coming out from again, and that's going to be answered by Game Ninja. It runs straight into that wall, and it's not really going to do too much, but up goes the wall yet again. And feeling that Wrath break down, in comes the Frost with the ult, shattering the eyes of the Avengers. But that allows the Avengers to break off on their own. Scarlet pushed a little bit too far up and breaks out the reset, punching into the back line. And are you going to find yet another? Yes, Busy is down. Affinity gets in the mix.
Goodness.
And it's brutality from the clones to the originals. UFC Esports crush Scarlet.
Can we get another one? No, he can't. He couldn't find it. How many was that? 6, 7, 8? Just using it, making sure that as soon as that strategist ult was offline, takes advantage with that Bucky ult. What a pick, by the way. Just absolutely going ham on the Bucky.
I'm terrified, quite honestly, to see even more, but Zap says I have an ult of my own, and maybe I can find it and swing on top over the wall, and maybe they can do a little bit more. Responses are thin, though, as Angie's going to go down. Buns is able to follow up. Fufu and Love bring out each ult in turn. When we talk about that barrier defense, we talk about that safety factor. Is it going to be enough? Love turns it on Buns, and they are able to make a mix. Fufu still with their ult running. Is it going to be enough, though? It feels like they've rebutted against a lot of what Zaps was bringing. So Scarlet weren't able to make the major push that they were hoping for. Right into the mix, everyone goes, and we're watching the swap out. But at the current moment, U of T are stalling, and that's all they're hoping for. Again, bringing about this mix and waiting for their ult to work, and it does. Game Ninja is out. What a great pick onto one of the DPS, and it's only continuing 40 seconds left.
And this is going to be quite the crucial. I was taking a look at the ult economy, and they were still holding off as long as they possibly could with the Loki. And now it's going to provide them a limelight as they only have 28 seconds to pull this off. Only though Emma Frost couldn't pill anyone, and that's going to hurt them as well to make this initiation go. So they just got to have to rely on either Game Ninja or Ango, whichever DPS makes the instance. And it seems like it's going to be him because he goes again and again and again, making too many moves for them to deal with. They don't have strategic ults to deal with it. No healing, no support, just guns, just metal, and he's going ballistic.
Final score, 1, 2, 3.
The fact that you can reset off of clones is probably one of the most busted parts about that. And you make it work in your favor. Well done to U of T Avengers, a crushing game number 1 and a comfortable lead. At that, Fufu, though, getting MVP of this match. It's a little surprising considering what we saw come out of the Winter Soldier. But in general, I'm very, very happy to say that that was a fun one to watch for. We got a thrilling grand finals.
We do have a thrilling grand finals, and it's just going to fuel SFU that much more. I can indeed say, like, you got to hand it to the side of the strategic, like the strategists of both teams were the key components of both sides, both Lokis, both Invisible ults, and the playmaking of having to save Loki from the SFU side was just saving as long as they could, use the Emma Frost to distract, but they had both of the Invisible ults for the side of UFT to go initiate because they knew the Bucky ult was coming. There's just so much complexity. Ult tracking is so key in a hero game like this, and it just makes the difference if you have it on the dime.
Yeah, it was on point in more ways than one. Now, before we do dive a little bit further, I do want to give a big call out right now to BMO. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but at the current moment, BMO is currently running a contest for CIE participants. If you're interested in this, I want you to go ahead and type !contest and complete the form below to meet with a BMO representative and be entered to win one of 5 possible $20 digital Steam gift cards. To learn more a little bit about what BMO offers, you can go ahead and type !BMO To learn what they offer. BMO has bank accounts and borrowing options for university and college students, so make sure to enter in today. Not only that, BMO has checking and savings accounts, credit cards, and borrowing options designed for students. Plus, if you sign up right now, you get $125 cash and 6 months of Domino's Pizza with a BMO's current student offers. Go ahead and check them
Ooh,
out
I
once
like that.
again. Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out because this amazing tournament for Marvel Rivals would not have been possible without them, and it's been such a treat to watch. So, really got to give them a lot of love. As we look into map number 2, though, I'm curious. It always feels like we do go back to a path no matter what, but I wonder if we're gonna get anything different.
We might go and get something different. It could be a different case scenario, and it looks like it's going to be the case as we all have the map ready. Because I don't know about you, a convergence game mode seems pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a nice little taste at the end of the day, and I mean, Burning Tatala,
It's
uh,
pretty open. It's pretty there.
it
You
is,
gotta
it
you
is.
gotta give credit to where credit's due to the openness of this map. Why? Because it introduced different compositions, different layouts. We could truly see that Spider-Man Venom combo truly shine here that we did see during the first initiation on Spider Islands. And it all depends on survivability. Once again, it's gonna come down to the bans.
Yeah, another side as well is there is something to be said about a Winter Soldier that pops off like 7 times in a row, right? Like there is something to be said about the Avengers that going into a domination, I'm really scared. As I believe we got word,
Yeah. Oh,
and oh
we're just getting word. We're going to Central Park. They
yeah,
changed
okay,
their
this makes
minds.
more sense. This makes more
Yeah,
sense with the convergence. This makes far more sense in there.
it does make more sense. But I wanted the Burning T'Challa so much. Such a
Yeah.
fine, it's such a great map. Central Park is a not that bad of a map either, but I don't know about you. It's still a convergence, nonetheless, in
Yeah.
some state standards. So we're gonna see different gameplays. We're gonna see different kind of bans. But I'm really gonna be looking at the key saves here. The Groot wasn't as impactful as we thought because they were getting picks upon picks.
Yep.
If they don't ban the Bucky, I don't know what else they're. What else do you
It's
do?
it's not many options available, and the problem is I think both sides actually play the Bucky fairly well. The Winter Soldier in either side's hands has yielded some results. I think Game Ninja was really a high proponent of that one. They did fairly well when it came down to finding those execution points. It's just they got overshadowed, and I have to give credit because for the Avengers they pushed very well, but for Scarlet they found some of their marks when they had the ult rotation on. They started to get things rolling. They started
Mm-hmm.
to make waves. Now, is that because they ran a little bit of a tight ship? They were running, I think, a Spider-Man plus a Venom plus an Iron Fist, and all of that really gets like really tight into the mix. There's some questions inbound. So going into this next map, I wonder if they're going to be on defense or offense first as well. I think a little mix onto the offensive might be in call, but who's to say?
Who's to say? As we ready these teams in this game for map 2, it's gonna be quite insane because I'm thinking about two things here. I'm thinking about ult tracking, and I'm thinking about positioning, because Zapdos was having prime positioning with that Iron Fist. If they can continue that conversion and keep on going with the way they were playing in that style, they will have the benefactor 100%. But the ult tracking and managing as much as they can is going to be key, especially on Central Park.
Yeah, well, it'll take a little bit of time to get to Central Park, so we are going to go to a very short break. Make sure the players are ready, and as soon as they are, we will be set. Don't go anywhere. The CIE will continue with the grand finals of Marvel Rivals in just a little bit. As we are set with the upcoming game, we are excited because we're going to Central Park. It's a little bit of a new map here on the main stream, I believe. It's one that we haven't seen so far, but it is a beloved one nonetheless. And my eyes are once again drawn over to U of T Esports. The Avengers have done amazing work in game number 1. Let's see if they can do it here in game number 2 as we're right into the bans.
So we did see it during the UFT versus I forget what opponent they did in their top 8s. They did play on this map once. UFT did seem quite formidable, but it's going to be a different case because I know Scarlet are prepared on this map. They do enjoy this, and we're not seeing the Human Torch right off the first 2 bans. That's interesting.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Claims it as soon as they possibly could. UFT are going to enjoy that. We know that they like the Human Torch.
Oh, yes, they do. And I'm excited to see even more of them, right? The save on the Captain America yet again, as we're getting some spice here. This is both Emma Frost and Invisible Woman taken off the table, which takes away both frontline and backline access. This is going to be a very thin game as we finally see the Spidey ban out here. I love this call.
Bye-bye, Spidey.
They're like, yeah, we don't want to deal with that.
No, but they're already 2 formidable bans. They're going to save the Luna Slow. It looks like it's typical composition for UFT. The Human Torch, the Luna Snow, they love it. They want to use it as fast and as much as they can. They're going to see if they can pull off the dive. Potentially, they have the Captain America online. Could provide a quite the distracting benefactor if Luna Snow doesn't have that ult online, or if they don't run the low key for the side of UFT. They're going to keep the Fantastic Strange. I think they are going for the rush style.
It feels nasty with it. There's going to be the Mr. Fantastic as well. And the banner at the end. Okay. So, as you call it, the rush style, but some rush components are taken away here. I feel like the Hulk is always such a big proponent. And we might have to see an immediate swap out to a little bit of a difference. Once again, we are seeing the availability of the Winter Soldier. There's the group ban, which makes sense. Was utilized fairly heavily in the previous, in the last match, but the Adam Warlock is up and available for Fufu. Let's see if it works out for them there too.
Yeah, gotta give credits where credits due. The group offline, the Hulk offline. But I have a thing though. The thing is still there. Wrong tank. For this team composition, we know how beautifully it worked in the push and pull tactic. They're gonna go the Mantis this time, and they're looking for the Adam Warlock. We're gonna see a lot of damage in this side. They're going 3 supports, but we know how much Adam Warlock can just absolutely shred squishies.
And for the Avengers, I think that's going to be a big call down here as we are set to go for Scarlet. They're on the attack first, and they're going to be one of the few not utilizing that Human Torch. Instead, they're going for a little bit of a different composition here. A little bit of safety in the back line as we eyes over everyone. Busy Bee on that Jeff. You can see the Rocket Raccoon as well. Safety features abound, and we'll see if Scarlet are able to make it work in this kind of 2-2 position. And with the Mr. Fantastic in the back pocket, I'm just for Scarlet, they need a big win here. That's all I'm trying to say here. As we see the punches be thrown out, in comes game number 2. Avengers already up 1 for Scarlet. They're gonna try and do the exact same. Will it work is the big question. As I'm far away, we're seeing Ange go ahead and throw down a little bit extra damage and immediately get pushed back.
Destroying the bridge to at least counter their movement. You gotta give it up to the destruction in this facility, and he's gonna dive on the back line. What a setup from the Human Torch to at least waste as much time as they can, and they're already ready to meet arms in arms as this fight starts to get going.
And I like this kind of punch straight to the middle as Ong goes ahead, and My sends some regards, but Fufu brings them all back and alive. My though, first answer means Captain America is really in front pace. UFT already forced off this point, which is a problem. Icy Surfer being able to kind of snuff out the torch. That's a big pickup already contesting on top, which now gives a little bit of credit over to the side of Scarlet as they just wash on through. What a kick in the face. UFT demolished.
I gotta say, the soon as they got the pick on the Human Torch, it was kind of sold from there. They didn't have enough DPS to at least counter anything of what SFU was healing or protecting with this basically 2.5 tank composition with that Mr. Fantastic online. He has a lot of health, has a good amount of DPS. That beautiful E shot from Game Ninja just absolutely shredded Anjigado. So you gotta give it to them. Good picks, good initiation.
See if they can do a little bit more here. U of T, they lost the first bout, but Scarlet had many more in turn. And for the Avengers, they're gonna try and mess around, but Mai right into the back line with the Human Torch burning. This is going to be that difference. Air Striker Alex is able to twist it into the base of Zaps in Buns. Both of them annihilated here and forced away from the convoy. Very nice pick, and Spoofoo is straight into the back line as well. What a great call down as Scarlet are in full retreat. They have 4 ults, but they were denied. Very nice fight from the Avengers.
Yep, good denial, good positioning tactics. You got to give credit. And right now they have those ults online, so it's gonna be see who does the initiation first. They're gonna try to see if they can go through it with that Captain America, but what they will respond with the Mantidal.
See what they can do a little bit more here. Again, stepping in with their ult, trying to find those headshots as quickly as possible. With the Human Torch on top, watches the Air Striker. Alex brings the pain yet again. Game Ninja annihilated from this match and this fight. What a quick closer, as that's a multi-stun down on Zap. Mai and Busy Bee, none of them able to really bring out some damage. And after that point take, the convoy denial has been perfect from the side of U of T Esports. They've gone ahead and held it down here as it's 3.5 minutes left.
They have the Human Torch ult available unless it's needed. I don't think they're going to utilize it in any of this case scenario, but you got to give credit to the good response. But SFU, you gotta also pay attention to the ult economy. They fell back a lot easier because they have time. They have the capabilities, they have the available time needed to back off, and they have so many ults. U of T don't.
This is just brutal as well. Scarlet able to twist it around right into their namesake. And that is Game Ninja getting the resets that we know, love, and hate, as that is a team wipe for you against UT Esports, which is understood considering what SFU threw against them.
I don't know if it was their smart move to get rid of every single ult that they had in the bank. They could have saved it for the next fight in this case scenario because UFT are still struggling. The only one nearly closest is the Magneto, and they're going to be able to win this off the dry because they have a lot more instigation and a lot more initiation than UFT currently has.
See if they can continue here as yet again Scarlet were ready. Big twist with Mai. They're gonna try and punch in Game Ninja. Ready with some of the shots. They've already deleted Air Striker Alex, and they do the same to Fufu. And Ninabe falls as well. And they're able to break through. Scarlet able to deny, and you called it at Ninjex. You were talking about a possible 5-game series. Well, hey, we might be headed there as Scarlet are making this one look easy.
Yeah, they're keeping it down. They're locking it down as much as they can by going off. They knew that they were dry. They had to know, because or else they wouldn't have a reason to be that aggressive off a rip. They immediately send the thing straight into the fight. They immediately send the Captain America to make the instigation. Meanwhile, Zapt is taking care of high ground with just the expendable ability that he can just zoom to the top, getting close and personal, denying healing.
And I wonder if it's going to continue here. U of T Esports ready for the rebuttal, but what a charge in. Mai trying to break the ranks, and it looks like they've done so. Buns was able to find a mark onto an enemy. And now they're using the Squirrel Girl Love with yet another swap here. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but again, seeing their hearts out here for the rest of the team. And Icy Surfer does the exact same, tries to get a revive on the back end, but UT Esports trying to bring the pain as much as possible. It's gonna be a bloody brawl here as Love falls, but Ange is able to fly high. The 1-for-1 so far, make it 2 as again goes down. And Game Ninja finally falls after taking one more mark, but in all of that twist, UFT Esports able to gather control over the convoy, and Scarlet had to back away as Ange goes on an absolute tear.
Yeah, you gotta give credit, but they were actually able to just somehow hold it off with that Fufu ult coming in clutch, utilizing the Luna ult in the beginning to keep them alive as long as they can in the beginning, then immediately using that Fufu, knowing that Game Ninja was going again and again and again on from the sky, and now the pressure's starting to set in just a little bit as they only have 1:47 left.
I think it's only going to continue here. Scarlet have made such an amazing run, and they want to fully close this one out. UFT holding them at the doorway. Around the corner comes Game Ninja, and you know Game Ninja is ready for the battle. That is a song being sung, though, by Busy B, and you're able to keep everyone alive. But Mr. Fantastic slamming down the Zap, wants to bring the pain, and it looks like they kind of broken through. Down goes Fufu, down goes Ange, down goes Love. Everyone falling on UFT Esports side. SFU Scarlet bring the battering ram, and it looks like they've done enough to break through.
I gotta give it to them. They're trying their best to just await the position. They're at that point of fix. They release the Luna ult to keep them alive, but Andrigo is alive and well, taking care of the backline business, making sure that the fire is burning under them. So it's a 1v1 thing battle to keep the pressure going. He's gonna have to back off here, but can they keep the pressure going? Denying more time. They have ults online, but the ults are building up that much quicker. The more time they waste, the more it's util and resources UFT have to deny this.
35 seconds left. Scarlet have won a battle before. UFT Esports, though, are lasting as long as possible. And with 4 ults online, I'm a little bit scared the ult economy will be the main thing to watch. In goes My trying to break out a little bit more space. Air Striker Alex looking for a mark, slams down, but only catches the shield and nothing more. Love in the back line, waiting for a chance to open fire. But UFT Esports have already expended multiple enemy, waiting for a chance to rock out, but Love able to find a mark on Buns. Buns is gone, brought back from the brink, though. It's Icy, gets that revive, but Love does again. Game Ninja is out. Game Ninja is lost, and that is a problem. That was your reset value, and it might not work in your favor. Fufu with the resounding echo, and it might do enough work. Icy as well as Busy Bee are gone. Here comes the Stuttering Death on the other side, though, as Zaps and Buns are ready. Here comes Game Ninja, though, swapping over to this Doctor Strange, trying to play timer as long as possible, and maybe you baited out, maybe you waited long enough because you got multiple on top of the convoy. It's a fight to the absolute death. It's a nail biter every time. My able to find Mark. The Captain America comes online, and GG's have broken through here.
Goodness.
Finally make the ending. SFU Scarlet battle for it all and make it in OT.
Jeez. You gotta give props, because that clutch teleport kept dishing out bodies on bodies on bodies. That if you can pull it off, if you don't have any sort of denial, Angelo just had to release his Human Torch ult as much as he could, because there was no answer that UFT had after expending their resources on that ult for ult battle, that they just had to go with it. They couldn't deal with it. They had to respawn, use their cooldowns. Fufu already used his copy. Again, didn't really have Luna ult ready yet. They were just stuck in that limbo of dryness. Nothing to utilize, nothing to fill back up the tank. And they were able to pressure UFT just enough to claim that last point.
Well, let's see exactly how this breaks out. These teams are battling to the absolute brink. The saves and whatnot have been thrilling to watch. I mean, the swap to the Doctor Strange, but is Fufu for real? I haven't seen that in ages. There's no way that's real, right?
Listen, when in doubt, you punish them wholeheartedly. And this could be peak. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have a Punisher in this match, and it could set a difference by just providing consistent DPS on the tank line. And it looks like they're gonna go with it. He's building the all charge, which means he's getting the DPS in.
Maybe they can do some work here, as that's gonna be a test and a half. Great first salvo, though, as Fufu is almost immediately annihilated. Okay, Game Ninja's like, yo, there's only one big gun around here, and it's me. Huge shots to win out at the start, and that is an immediate force out. So Fufu's sticking with it, though. The Game Ninja is popping off yet again. Game Ninja is so good at finding these premier marks, taking out the DPS, and now being able to chase into that front line, access everyone on the side, and UFC is currently low as they're getting washed away yet again. Scarlet with a great first tango.
You gotta give it to the game, and he kept the opening picks, no DPS to dish out, so the Captain America dives right in, has that team up ability to bring Game Ninja into the fight and continuously give DPS on that front line. And now they gotta watch out because Game Ninja is just waiting, using his E as much as he can just to knock him out of the sky. A huge counter to the flyer here, and now they're just going to try to provide as much DPS as they can with that turret, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Right now, again, getting that revive off. UFC feel like they're in a little bit of a dangerous zone. They're almost on life support, if you will. Fufu trying their best, and yet cleaned out yet again. My swinging that hammer and making sure that they are ready for the punch or shield, if you will. Ult online as Game Ninja is able to find yet another mark. This is never ending. Ninjax, UFC Esports have yet to gather the appropriate members. They are expending ults for ult's sake. It feels like, are they gonna find more? That's gonna be a huge thing. Game Ninja is down, so is Busy B. Buns is going to fall, and UFC Avengers, it feels like they find their choice. Yet again, though, it's an expenditure of 3 ults as they finally turn over this first point.
They're gonna get the touch regardless. Captain America doing what it does best to at least keep the position going. They will be able to find a capture, but as you mentioned, Orbital, that's a lot of resources. Look at the ult economy that SFU has in the banks. They're not going to be able to defend against this next onslaught. They only have 4 minutes. Gets tagged once again. Game Ninja has the Human Torch's number. I'm just saying, he's keeping the pressure so well, which means that there's not a lot of DPS going. Fufu, though, we might see a pirate ship going through here just a sec, but Fantastic is the name of Mr. Fantastic as he's going to try to slam all the way from above. A turret can't aim that high.
It's a little bit of a problem, and for Scarlet, they're almost making use of that fact, holding UFC Esports down once again. Zaps with Mr. Fantastic, swinging as hard as possible. Fufu, though, still waiting for a chance to really break out the big guns if they can, but Buns and Game Ninja are ensuring that there is not a moment to lose. Punching them back into last week, again, is the only one alive.
Yeah, I feel like in this case scenario, they're just trying to provide as much DPS as they can, sticking with that Punisher. I don't know if it's working 100% for the composition of UFT. They got the point and they got good progressiveness. They're going to be able to go into this fight dry, but Busy has Luna ult right there, and Buns has the stun nearby. They don't have an immediate answer to these ult economy, and I feel like that's what they're really lacking in the change of fights.
Here comes the punch yet again. Rinse and repeat. It is Ninjax. It is Scarlet once again winning a team battle, and almost like deja vu, again is the only one left alive.
It's so funny that Raccoon can get out of sticky situations in game, in the movies, and I mean, if you've seen a Raccoon in real life, they are sneaky. Yep. They go, they're gone.
Yep.
But at the same time,
it's like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm so done with this.
Taking advantage, making sure that they have the ult economy on track is so key in the hero shooters because it makes the difference. They're gonna start off with the thing into this fight, but can they respond accurately? They're gonna have to defend as much as they can, so they have to release the Luna ult to keep themselves online. Game Ninja, Icy Surfer, and Zap has their ult just in case. They're building as much as they want to, so the Mantis is gonna have to come online to keep them alive because they're just utilizing every single ult to counter the plays. Star-Lord from above to go through with no more Human Torch. It's back to basics, and it's working.
I mean, it took some time, but they've done so. That's a great hook, though, as Ange is gonna be hooked into a very dangerous spot. UNC are still pushing forward. They have a minute and a half, but Air Striker Alex is able to make a little bit of a mark. That's 2. Icy Surfer getting a revive off, so Scarlet are able to fight back, but this 4-man push on top of the convoy will continue. And UNC Esports making this one spicy. 1.51 meters, though, to fully unlock. There they go. They go ahead and press. And it's an absolute mollywopping here right in front of the doorstep. Both UFT and SFU Scarlet are going at it like cats and dogs. The thing in the middle saying that Trenchcoat can't protect me enough. Again, finding a mark on the Game Ninja and Buns as Scarlet has to back.
This roll switch from Angelo to Fufu, they go for the triple support, double Vanguard, and Angelo just providing the DPS from the sky. I feel like it might be the play here because they immediately were able to get that much more healing. The Punisher is not going to do as much in this case scenario, so they go for the Star-Lord, and immediately did work. Their ult economy is even better because they have the Mantis and Magneto up online.
Right now, it's another twist. Game Ninja ready for the battle. Fufu getting the revive off, but that's 2 ults expended as Scarlet are going to try and break through. UNT Esports expend 3, though, with a major rock to the face. Love brings the song and dance. Game Ninja brings the pain. Busy Bee and Mai, though, trying to twist it around, and it looks like they've done so. Scarlet able to fight back. UNT Esports denied yet again. Game Ninja able to hold them down as we're a minute and a half left. Great defense from Scarlet.
You gotta hand it to them. Even though they were dishing out, the UFT were just using ults as they could get them. Scarlet had tactical timeness with their ults to keep in track of when they need to use it and how they needed to use it. With Mr. Fantastic starting off the initiation, getting a grab, and just proceeding from there as we start this next fight.
And they do so. Game Ninja getting a revive on themselves, and the enemy losing there. So UNT Esports immediately on the back foot. On the high ground though, Ange goes. Star-Lord doing a lot of work here, but all they found was one. Buns is down. Are going to find a little bit more behind. Ange trying to bring a lot of the pain, but again is the lost air striker. Alex about to fall as well, trying to get the healing in the back pocket. Again, bringing themselves back into this mix. But Buns is ready. With that revive, with that respawn, bringing the pain, 30 seconds left. Can UFT hold out here? And they continue to push. That is going to be the big question. They found a mark and a half, but Scarlet able to keep themselves alive. Game Ninja ready to battle it out. And Mai dances straight into the back line. This Captain America is doing so much work, but Alex was ready. And it's 0 mark right now. A final push left. Will it be enough as we count down the seconds? We're in OT, and UOT say the timer ends when we call it. They found Buns. They found 4 total. Game Ninja is going to try and get on top of the point, but I don't think it's going to be enough time. It is over. We're going into OT.
Oh my goodness. The true OT, and you gotta give it up to, again, the strategists are key in these matches, Orbital. They were able to build up Luna ult just in time to live out every single ult they had in their pocket. It didn't matter because that healing was flowing for UFT. They were somehow able to bring it back with Fufu's revives, keeping them in check, keeping Angelo on deck, allowing him to be that much aggressive with his Star-Lord plays because he knew he had the revive in the back pocket.
Let's see exactly who comes out on top here. I mean, I can't believe we're getting pushed to the absolute brink here. In game number 2, of all things, we're in game number 2. There's so much more of the series to be played.
It's a best of 5.
Yeah, I'm scared. Honestly, if I'm looking at this Ninjax, I'm scared, but we have to take eyes on who we need to watch for, namely Game Ninja off of that Winter Soldier onto the Iron Man, which I think we saw them use earlier. And remember, there's only a minute, so you only got a minute to push. There's a theoretical possibility of you being able to make it all the way to the end, but that's such a tall ask.
Yeah,
on that Star-Lord yet again, gonna try and do the best.
They're gonna, he's gonna stick to what works. They know that it functions. They know that they were able to upkeep as much, even though they had the ult tracking on par for the side of Scarlet. And they're gonna destroy the bridges once again to bridge and make a gap between UFT and themselves to make sure that the positioning isn't called out as they sweep on from behind them.
Let's see if they can fight it out here. First contact is gonna alleviate some of that tension, but the fight will continue. UNT Esports waiting for the chance. We're gonna watch a little bit of Ants trying to free fire, but in the mix, everyone kind of swapping through. That's gonna be clap number 1, though, again goes down as quick as can be. And that means the rest of UNT Esports are not gonna fare as well. Zapped with a great punch on the Fufu. And SFU Scarlet in their first minute have gone ahead and tried to take control as they wash the rest of the bodies. UFT Esports have to recollect. They are completely dominated here as this point is concluded. Really clean by Scarlet.
Yep, good focus, good target priority. That was a prime IG line from the side of Scarlet, making sure that they had enough time to converge, constitute, and conserve their utility. Zap accurately just absolutely blocking and denying any sort of momentum with that Mr. Fantastic grab, and also denying with his invulnerable stretchy form. We gotta hand to them. They're gonna be pinched here, Bortle.
All right, now it's going to be a breakthrough here. You're in the OT timeline. Let's see if UFT Esports can stop it right now. The Avengers really do have to avenge their previous marks, and it looks like they're not going to be able to do so. Zap's able to step forward, really collapse in on Fufu, so the push will continue. UFT Esports are not allowed to really do anything of the sort. The song comes out, but it really is just the encore at the end of the day. Ange on the top rope trying to be fired, but look at the shielding. Look at the absolute shielding that Scarlet are able to have. It even allows My Mind to dance straight into the back line and body block and bully everyone else out. Fufu with their ult though. Gonna try and keep everyone back alive after the ults have called, but Ange and Air Striker Alex have to get back to a comfortable spot. Great shot though. On to Busy Bee. As far as you need, OT is about to wear out, and it is done. UFT out of Warlock revive keeps it to a narrow distance.
I think that was a C9 orbital. They were about to go through it, and they just stepped off for 5 seconds. That's how close these games are, everyone. They're down to the thin wire, but considerable progress made. UFT now have to beat that under a minute plus overtime. How and will they be capable to do it? I don't know, because they were able to hold off, but the Mr. Fantastic, I feel like Game Ninja, yes, was available, but wasn't doing as much as needed, because the Mr. Fantastic was denying and mitigating so much damage to allow Busy Bee the time to be able to build up that ult and release it, especially when that Star-Lord ult came online. They're using the resources to key by providing space for their strategists to make these plays.
Strategies as that strategist does. At this point, I'm getting tongue-tied just watching all the action.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. No, absolutely not. Inject, you are not going to catch me in that one.
Come on.
No. I already sound like a fool here because the teams are so dang good and they are making magic in front of our eyes. We got a minute on the clock to see if UFT are going to be able to match us in pace. I'm curious if they're going to be able to do so. Eyes out as we are ready to roll. Right in front we go. Test number 1 is contact, and on that Star-Lord once again building up to about 20%. This is huge if you want to break into that point, but a big slam brings a difference.
Big slam.
As the Nunabee saying, everyone get out of my way. We are going to break through whether you like it or not. SFU Scarlet, though, able to find mark number 1. My Mind does a great job once again taking out songs, and that's not going to be the one that you want to watch her. And then to be taking out Busy Bee in turn. That's a small price to pay again for 20 seconds more. That's all you have. And again, has done such good work. But at 3 down, UFT Esports losing ground here very, very quickly. And they need to get over on that turn. They need to fully collapse in. They're dancing with the timer as Scarlet is just waiting their turn.
Oh, look at that stretchy form. G-Saps is able to live so much damage, but the supports keeping him alive, knowing the damage mitigation that he's taking down from the supports as well. Denying healing, denying damage, keeping so much, almost like a third imposter from Among Us, creating such damage as a third Vanguard, but trying to make a difference. The Thing becoming the absolute madhouse, but it's only overtime. They don't have enough resources to keep them stable. They have the loot on point, and they absorb every single damage with that Magneto ult, and oh my goodness, they take it.
I mean, we knew that both teams can rumble with the best of them, and it was only expected at the end of the day, I think. Very, very well timed on either end, and you can go ahead and take a look. Zaps is getting a nice little flavor of the month MVP for themselves. And it's a well-played moment.
65 and
Again, at the end
8.
of the day, overall, we're 1-1. Ninjax. I have no other words for it. This is gonna be a test.
Shocking, extravagant. That's the only 2 words. Because right now in the stat lines, Zaps's 65 and 8. You know how much damage blocked he got? 34,000 damage block, 38,000 damage as a DPS. I don't know about you. That seems like a Vanguard to me. That seems like a Vanguard to me.
Yeah,
Quite the difference maker.
That's what's paying off, but Game Ninja also had some of the most impactful moments. I mean, in the early stages in that game again, consistently keeping that DPS in check. There's a reason why the opening battles took so long. And I think it took a while before we actually got to see the likes of Air Striker Alex and the rest of the squad really get up there. So taking a look on the back end, my thoughts are, hey, is it going to continue? As we have gotten word that there is going to be a little bit of a break. I think listen, they're playing for quite a long time. I understand this. It's a long game, about 20, 30 minutes.
It's almost 10 o'clock EST here. We're gonna be going to night territory here.
Yeah,
night owls.
There you go. So you know what? Before we go any further, we'll talk about this upcoming game number 3 as we're in a best of 5. We're going to go to a short break once again, and hopefully this will be that chance to really everyone get their thoughts together and see where we go from here. Are we going to get a game 5 or are we only going to 4? Don't go anywhere. The CIE will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We are set for our game number 3. A lot of players had to really make sure that they were set for what could be another 30-minute banger here as we are headed over to Halazalia, going over into the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. I'm very, very excited. This is once again Convergence, which you know what that means, a lot of fighting and a lot of blood.
Oh yeah, round 3 go. But before we have these bans, again, just want to give a quick shout out to BMO, give a quick shout out to BMX Next Level, Strawberry and Egg, Canada Esports, Solaris. Thank you guys for sponsoring this stream. This gameplay would not be possible without them. Right back to it. The Iron Fist gone immediately from the competition. What are they cooking?
I do not know, quite honestly, because the Iron Fist has been like a nice one, not overall, but I like this band here. This is the Captain America band that I think was utilized very heavily by Scarlet in the previous game. Now, both by Avengers and Scarlet, actually. It was a special in there for, I believe it was My My specifically was running that like crazy.
They were going ham. Absolutely going ham with that Captain America. And they're going to somehow save the Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. I can get behind it. I can get behind it yet again. It was well used. I think we were talking about some of those damage numbers coming out, right? There was, I forgot who it was exactly. I think it was Ange at one point that was just like, I'm going to do damage. at the end of the day. So it's same, or no, it was Game Ninja at the end of the day. So big differences all around. I lied, it's Zaps. I can see it right there in the eyes. We're seeing the rest of the picks and bans, of course, with those bans coming out, the Namor as well as a Hela, but the saves with the Spidey as well as the Human Torch. Finally, the ban of the Invisible Woman. Last one, we could almost see a chance of that Emma Frost, but no, it is going to be the Venom at the end of the day.
Ooh. I'm gonna point out they bland the Namor and captured the Spider-Man just to see if they could go for that gameplay style. So they immediately respond with a ban on the Venom. But I don't think that was the target priority here, honestly. I feel like a better ban was trying to get rid of that Luna Snow, because that Luna Snow is so key. I know they run it a lot for the side of UFT, but I feel like, especially for what Buns just picked, is going to be quite the difference maker in this map. The Groot can really be a real big problem for UFT.
Yeah, well, the one that is going to be open and safe to play with, though, is, of course, that Hulk. We haven't seen the Hulk that much. It's been saved in multiple angles, but it hasn't been perfect, right, at the end of the day. But you called it. The Luna Snow is available. Same with on the other side, though. We're seeing a swap by again, and we're going to wait for confirmation. I think we're getting a little bit of a mix as if that's actually a Cloak and Dagger. I'm interested to see if that's going to work in their favor. But Game Ninja ready on the attack as we get into game number 3. Keep in mind, whoever wins this one is going to go ahead and make their way forward into the series and put themselves at 2-1. We will, no matter what, have a game number 4.
Gonna be going right straight to it. They're already gonna try to get that destruction going, using that Iron Man as much as they can to get rid of an open space, to get rid of or open a space to see what they're gonna be playing and what they'll be cooking. They're already trying to find an available tactician with that Spider-Man on the flank, and they're gonna start the dive immediately.
I like this call. You go ahead and send My a little bit further forward, but Zaps is immediately stunned out here. And on the Mr. Fantastic, I don't think you like seeing that one, especially if you're in the middle of this space. Again, swapping over to that Cloak, but that's an immediate lock of one. Game Ninja is quickly being found as that key mark, but Scarlet take advantage of that overbearing eye and wash out UFT Esports as the entirety of the Avengers are kind of sent to the gulag.
I'll be honest, the Spider-Man and the Groot are gonna be the key picks here for the side of Scarlet. Why? Because he can just be aggressive, and if he dies because the Groot is such a strong take that even if the Hulk goes awry or goes for the same dive as he does, look at this coordination, gone, deleted. They know they can do that because they have such a strong tank with those walls to protect the backline.
Game Ninja is 100% on one right now, yet again showing that they are a star. And for the Avengers, I don't know if they really have an answer. They swapped around a few times. Ange on that Human Torch is going to try and bring a little bit of damage, but they look for that find yet again, and they go straight to the backline. What a nice twist, though, as Rin instead says, screw Spidey, I'm going to take out Zaps. Down goes Mr. Fantastic. Down goes one of those DPS values. And it's going to open up a little bit of space for UFT to take room. What a catch, though, on the back end is Air Striker. Alex tried to get a little bit messy with it, was throwing members around, but look at the burn, look at the cook, look at the absolute damage output. Buns has to back away now as we see the call down. Rin and the revive on their own because of Game Ninja. It was perfect to be called, but the claps are here. Clap 1, clap 2, bring the pain. The Hulk says Super Hulk is in town. And that's going to be answered right back, though, as Rin with an absolute blast takes the Icy Surfer, and Foo Foo brings the song and dance. Overwhelming, it feels like, in favor of UFT, as now the Human Torch brings all the tornadoes abound, stopping Scarlet from where they push.
Absolutely insanity just going through. They're able to absolutely retaliate and get a formidable stoppage back. You can already see the long range damage that Onklo is doing, and this is key for their team composition. Why? Because if they keep that DPS alive, it absolutely eliminates the backline from the top, an angle that can't really help them a lot. And even if they have that Iron Man to just initiate DPS from the front as much as they can, keeping themselves alive here, but the dive is already going to counter-wise.
And I think this is actually a huge moment for Scarlet as they pounce on a very frail UFT. UFT were not ready. Thankfully, there was one revive, but it's really just a call back as Air Striker Alex is eliminated. And FFU Scarlet continue their push onwards. They are now in a comfortable position after that first checkpoint to continue on through, and UNT Esports have to give ground.
I gotta give it up. I gotta give it up. We were talking about this in the previous match. The smart strategic plays is the difference maker in this case, and Eric, especially on a mode like this that is just capture and not a lot of distance to make in this map. So they can utilize that aggressiveness, but they're gonna go for a difference maker. They're gonna switch up to the Bucky. They're gonna switch up to the Wolverine to absolutely shred the dives by capturing the Gam Ninja and also shredding the Hulk, but he has the ult to go through with it. And these are key plays, good responses that these teams are requiring to pull off if they want to stay alive.
Let's see if they can do a little bit more than that, as right now it's a piece and a half of this puzzle. They're inside right now, so SFU Scarlet playing a little bit more bottleneck. They bring out Icy with the song and dance. They're going to go ahead and dance their way forward, and the rest of UAT back away, saying we don't want anything to do with this battle. At the current moment, again, now pushing right back. Is this a dance-up? At this point, it's a K-pop battle. Who is going to win instead? A little bit of breakout as Ange is able to get a reset on the ult, but it's enough to ZP sinking a lot into this battle. And Scarlet, how much longer are you going to maintain? Game Ninja has their ult up and available, but Rain is annihilated. Buns was able to find that smack. And that was such a twist of fate. Scarlet finds one and swings back though, zapping the answers before they can do much more damage, which opens up Scarlet's opportunities. Yet again, they throw down and UFT have to back away. What a fight from Scarlet.
Yeah, I gotta give it to them. They're trying to keep up, and I know UFT have been doing some role swaps between players, but you gotta keep it up in terms of this case scenario, because why? The consistency is there. They know their roles, they know their heroes, and they're able to make these plays so well because they're able to just dive right in and get right out that much easier. They switch from the Hulk and now on to the Emma Frost. Game Ninja still be able to dive on the back line. They just need the consistent frontline DPS. He's looking for the attentiveness. He has the ult if need. He's gonna dive right in. Can't get it, gets low. But these little small plays is what makes the difference for these two teams in terms of tactics.
And for UNT Esports, the tactics are all about desperation. How well can you burn that time down? But Busy Bee says you can't at all. Foo will be locked. Ange with a great rip away #1, but you lose your life in turn, and the rest of the Avengers will fall. Zaps with an absolute shell-shocking performance. Mr. Fantastic indeed, dropping the tank in turn. And that is GG with 1:50 left. Huge opening attack phase.
You gotta give credit where credit's due, Orbital. That Mr. Fantastic is a problem. I suspect it was going to be the case. I know they wanted Iron Fist gone, but I don't think he's as impactful as he mentioned than the Mr. Fantastic. He's able to get in and get out with ease, soak up so much damage, and able to dish back that much damage with his long range, keeping not only peel for the backline, but also keeping the front line secured, allowing Buns to pick it off, allowing Mai to just go ham. They need some real juice if UFT want to bring it back here.
Yeah, I mean, they've been stifled in a lot of these fights, and it feels like the team fight wins are coming off the back of explicit ultimate swaps. We're seeing a lot of these ultimates, you know, these 2 or 3 values being given, and there's Rin's going for a completely different take. We'll give it a couple to see if this actually works. But that is a hover of the Scarlet Witch. I have no idea if this is actually going to work, but ideas are out there. As you mentioned, UFT, they need a lot. They need a lot to really come back into this, and it all starts with that single step. Loki setting up 2 clones, making sure that you get a little bit of extra value. Game Ninja on the side, though, waiting for a cheeky pull, a quick dive in, as everyone is going to be bottlenecked. That is a cheeky TP attempt to Game Ninja. Try to get in the mix as well, but it's not going to work. Overall, the shenanigans are left well and truly away, as the opening battle on top of point explodes for either team. Zaps in the midst with Mr. Fantastic, trying to body block a lot of this damage. Mai taking a lot of pain. Game Ninja getting the heals, but UNT Esports able to deny as they are running with the Scarlet Witch. That's going to be
they get the first pick.
Taking out Mai early.
Fufu is going to be able to take the second one as they comb through here. And I got to give credit because that high ground was immediately eliminated, and they're absolutely focusing that Mr. Fantastic. The Magneto is trying as hard as they can, but they knew that was the win condition. They have to deal with it, and they successfully pull it off. Take the high ground, focus on the players that hurt the most. In this case, it is that Mr. Fantastic, but they took care of the healers first, of course. A successful push from the back line. You got to give credit.
Yeah, I mean, again, also with a really nice snap, it feels like both teams are excelling on their aggressive turns, and that was a beautiful shutdown of that point. You go ahead and get the convoy out in comfortable fashion. You have 5 minutes to work with. This is a huge number for UFT Esports that they are going to be very happy about. And they also got a sack. Take a look, Ange, 92, Rin at 78, Fufu currently bottled up. So see if the next fight actually brings some value for them as well. Yet again, as Scarlet recognize that if we're not keeping track, things can go very, very awry. Game Ninja coming in from the backside, 48%. Icy has their ult available, but who are you going to take away? Nanabe annihilated here as My brings some revenge. And the damage can only be spoken about one too many times. We twist over to Game Ninja yet again, as this flurry of blows in any direction is so challenging to follow. And going to be annihilated though as Game Ninja finally finds her stride.
Yeah, you gotta give a credit. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we saw a Scarlet Witch going on through. It's able to output that much consistent damage, and with the change that Scarlet Witch had in the past passage, it seems to be working because the amount of output damage that is going on to the strange shield is too much for them to handle, so they've been having to rely on their abilities way more. They have full ults, but how are they gonna use it now?
I'm wondering, maybe one big cacophonous swing as we're almost at max Rindo, bringing out that mega bomb. Who are you gonna punch? He's swinging on one of Team Ninja. That's a huge pickup. But My able to deter a lot of the rest. Out comes the song as well again. Make sure everyone else stays up and top off. UFT Esports recognize that there is gonna be that rebuttal, is gonna be that answer back. And they deny a lot of that damage. Instead, they take out Icy Surfer. Zap's going to be swinging in with the fist, slamming down their fist as much as possible. And it's brought up by Busy Bee. Busy Bee is annihilated. Game Ninja falls down for the second time. As Ange gets the reset. Ange says this is how you bring the pain. Shoddy to the face. Reset City as the Avengers break on through.
Oh, he's going for another one. Can he pull it off? No, he gets staggered. He gets blocked by the clone. Get a little too greedy there, but you gotta give credit as well. Why? Because they, as soon as those strategist ults went offline, they didn't have any more from the side of Busy Bee. Or again, they were able to eliminate though. They immediately executed the ult. They had Zapdos go, but Ange just had the priority with that Bucky ult. It does that much more damage focused wise, and all the team was able to get him and again and again and again. Eye of Agamotto goes through off, and he gets a 3-piece by that beautiful stagger, absolutely peeling for the backline, and was able to just go dive straight in. Insane play by Airstriker.
That felt like an icing on the cake moment, right? UNC won the large scale battle, and that was just like the finishing piece. You knew Airstriker was waiting for that moment, a perfect eye, and now swinging a little bit further. Now keep eyes, Game Ninja as well as Icy both have ults ready to go if they wish to swing. And Bun's now swapping out yet again over to that group. Now you're in the tight corner. Now you can bring those walls down. It's going to be a lot more difficult to play through. My bringing some pain to Airstriker Alex, who does not have the ult set. Again, taking it a little bit low as well. And they're waiting for these ultimate turns. Rin with the chance at a bomb, but Zap says no, we're going to take out your front line and your back line, as well as your DPS. Middle, back, front, everything is lost as Zap showing up here for Scarlet, saying we got to burn more time than that.
UFT have been so much more efficient on their ult economy, and this is exactly why they didn't dedicate to win that fight. They weren't using as much as they did in the past. Look how much time UFT have in this case scenario. If they take point 3 orbital, they are going to be set up for overtime.
Right now, this is going to be that final call. Even though it's 3 minutes, this is the chance for Scarlet to push back. They have 6 ults in turn. How are they going to utilize these? Are they going to basically bunker buster this entire scenario or this entire scene? In goes Bunch. You swing hard, you bring everyone close. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Are you going to find more? Yes, you go again and again and again. And trying to do the magic, but it's not going to work because it's a great body block from My and Surfer. Both deny as again sees their heart out. but it's only to delay a Nunnaby and Rin in Fuku are ready with a turn of their own. Icy still burning their ult out. There's going to be a great grab and twist, but UFT Esports are waiting for their moment to shine. There they try and break through. Icy Surfer staying alive for the moment, but Rin about to explode, but it's blocked. It's blocked. The shatter is blocked.
No.
And Scarlet are able to open up back. What a denial as Rin watches their ultimate fizzle and zaps. It's allowed to pop off. Scarlet with the beauty of a team fight win. Again!
He's just gonna get the cooldown. You gotta give it to him. He's gonna be able to delay that as much as he can, have that ult ready for the next fight. He's gonna try to see if he can waste the time as much as he can. Look at this key positioning, but he won't have the availability. He's afraid and aware that he could get hooked out of midair. Good patience. And also good patience from Fufu delaying that Luna ult as much as he could from that previous fight.
Right now, everyone's kind of tuckered out here. Only Icy Surfer has theirs in tow. And remember, Scarlet have won the last two team fights kind of back to back, and they're looking to do it yet again. Now a minute left on the clock. UFC maybe not enjoying this one, but Ange is ready to throw down. Ange has done it before. Rin swapping over to Wolverine has able to find out Buns. Great hack and slash the way through. Now they can break through to maybe the mid or back line. As the rest of UT are gonna push, but they have to win this battle. Reset number one on the air if they can. Swings yet again. No reset in mind though, as Scarlet are able to hold off yet again. Out comes the Emma Frost ult, same with Icy. And again, waiting, reset available. Ange trying to take out that tank, but Busy Bee says no. Ange, Alex, you are dead. They burned off 30 seconds. They're trying to do a little bit more. Ange finds Buns. But honestly, Scarlet, I think they're holding their own. It's going to be a twist back in their face. Game Ninja looking to try and get resets all around. Ange ready to throw down. Once again, though, as the resets are never ending, bouncing up clones and more so. Ange with 3.
Oh my.
UFC have finally broken through. They tried this earlier. It did not work. But Ange finds the perfect penta to push us to OT yet again.
2, 3.
I want to give credit to the team focus of UFT. He wasted so much time with his ult, knowing that it was on a... If you don't know about Bucky, if you get another kill with your ult, it will only be a short amount of time where that ult disappears before you can go again. In that time frame, they were having the Groot under lockdown. What does Ange do? Get the spear, hook him onto the back line. Every single person on that UFT team turned their head, targeted the Groot, got the resurgence of his ult that made that game-winning penta. Team coordination from UFT excelled in that moment because it gave them the win. Yes, just you were wasted and expanded on the resources. I'm speechless.
Problem comes now though. As we know, when it comes to OT, you only have a select amount of time left. For SFU Scarlet, they ended their attack very comfortably. 2 minutes 43 seconds is a lot of time to play with an OT. For UT Esports, they only have a minute.
4, 3.
Of course, we're watching their defense first. Let's see if they can hold out for 2 minutes 43 seconds. No extra time given. This is all you get to play with.
It's gonna come down to this, and already look how fast that time is going. Look at the staggering. The Game Ninja, they expected that. They put every single wall they could to dedicate to that ult TP. You gotta give credit, they were expecting that one. Sneaky guy can't try that again, and it might provide the difference because it's only a minute that they need. 35 seconds are already down for the count. They're gonna try to see if they can expel this dive, and already taking the first one is Scarlet.
And I think finding Ange so early on is such a key moment. Remember, Ange is the big reason why UFT made it in at the first pace. So Scarlet on the defensive end, throwing down so well. And already, as you called, it's going to be that minute. Now it's just Dr. Strange trying to hold on with extra shielding in the back pocket. What a catch. Game Ninja and My though, find the backline even more. Ange dancing around, gets annihilated, but damage has been done. Timer wearing out. We're in OT, and I don't think anyone from UFT is able to make it back in turn. That is going to be a quick GG on their attack. And now it's UFT to try and defend for 2.5 minutes.
2, 3.
like you said, that minute goes so quickly. It was just 10 seconds. Like we said, Game Ninja, even though it wasn't as successful, they delayed 10 whole seconds out of a minute. Let's do the math. 60 minus 10, that's 50. Not a lot of time to do that. As not a lot of time to commit to a full dive for a second fight. Typically, you could squeeze it in, but they couldn't. They only had that one fight to make it count because he delayed that much time in that short of a span time with just one death and immediately came back for the fight with Winter Soldier. Now, they have a lot of opportunities, almost 3 whole minutes to attack this point. Can UFT defend this side? Will we see him a game 5? I'm waiting on the edge of my seat.
You called it so early on as well. You're like, hey, both these teams have experience. Both these teams are very, very good at what they do. And this could easily go game 5. I wasn't sure. I honestly was doubting you. We've had a whole entire tournament of like 3-0s and 3-1s. We haven't seen the full length just yet. But it feels like it could be done here. It really, really feels like it could be done. So we'll see if it can happen. SFU Scarlet, though, stepping out and around. No silly TPs. No sort of chaos and shenanigans. And you can see the wall breaks, as we mentioned before. This has been done every single time. But first contact breaking out here as SFU Scarlet reaching into the top banks. Game Ninja looking for the random backdoor, that random sideline access. Is it going to work though, as Fufu finds Icy Surfer very early on? That's going to be a drag back, and Game Ninja is going to try and take out that backline. What a slam and a half down. Fufu, though, gets saved by Ange. What a hold. SFU Scarlet losing 2 off rip. Zaps and Game Ninja means a lot of their push is negated. They have to back away. Great first hold by UFT Esports.
Oh, I don't know about this aggression here from UFTV Esports. They take space, but you have such a long time to defend next. They're trying to get picks, and they are successful on the Magneto. They will back off, but in this case scenario, what a call out to peel for your backline, almost killing that Loki twice. We saw Game Ninja doing it once and then doing it twice and almost got a third time, but it was unsuccessful. This time they will go with the sneaky TP on the backline, but they're expecting it immediately.
I mean, they are, but the swap is really what it's called for. Fufu still saying foo, foo, foo. With their aggression and with their victory, Icy Surfer is gone. The Game Ninja now on the Iron Man trying to break through the ranks, but it is stalwart. It's a steel wall of U of T members. They are not budging a single inch. That is already a minute and 43. Take away here without a single tick for SFU Scarlet. Now a breakup by Ant as you chase. You miss though, so no reset value. Ahoy. Bottlenecks around though, as that's Ange going down, and Scarlet might have found their opportunity to be keeping everyone topped off with the song and dance. They need to find some extra marks though. Scarlet waiting for a chance. Buns goes high, swings the damage down. It doesn't really catch on. As U of T answer back with their own song. Another TP possibly coming out here as it's swapped out by the side of Ange. Is it going to be enough though, as Rin and Buns take piece by piece? As Scarlet denied, we're down to the last 30 seconds. U of T holding on for all it's worth. Zap trying to turn it around. I don't think it's going to work though. But my mind says you better believe it as much as possible. Out goes the Hulk. And it's just pain upon pain upon pain. Game Ninja gonna round all the way on the far side. As we're gonna go to OT and OT. Ninja, I never would have thought about this one, but SFU Scarlet finally break through. It took a little bit of time, but they've done it.
Goodness.
Game 3 goes their way.
Just trying to deal as much as they can. They had so many good key moments, but the moment that Hulk ult came online, he was able to soak up so much damage that they didn't have anything to offer. They held for almost 3 whole minutes, but Scarlet lock it down. They claim that spot. It's 2-1. We're going the mile, Orbital. We're going the mile.
You know, I would like to sleep at some point tonight, but at the end of the day, I am loving The absolute chaos that's being thrown down, and it comes down to the wire because both sides have had such amazing moments. And we got to talk about it, right? DPS has stolen the show a little bit, so I love the fact that you did call out the fact that we did see the Hulk be able to swing, but Ange specifically, Ange has been such a stalwart member of U of
Mhm.
T with that Winter Soldier that we've been very, very impressed with them so far. I'm also looking on the other side with Game Ninja, who has been such a high flying acrobat for the squad, and then My on the other end for SFU, this tank, this frontliner with 35 in the bank, soaked up
Jeez.
47, almost 48,000 damage. That is chaotic.
I mean, it's stuff like that. It's truly impressive stuff to see the numbers and statistics in these holds because it just demonstrates how much of that quote unquote IGLing or primary targeting that they do because they're soaking up every single damage. They have those damage reductions, being the tanks that they are. It sells the dice, it sells the initiations. They carry so much what they hold true, and that's just making space, allowing for zaps, allowing for Game Ninja to make the plays that we saw.
I like how we had to very comfortably lean on that one. It has been a little bit of a long night. We are going to go to one more break yet again because I believe the players want it. So we're going to go to a short break. Get ready for game number 4. But this might not be the end, folks, as CIE will continue ever further here tonight. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Once again, back at it yet again. It's Orbital and Ninjax, and we are happy to go ahead and see what could be the conclusion to this grand finals, or it could be the continuation as Ninjax, you may or may not have given us the best curse of all time. We may or may not be getting a game 5 on the day, as we have heard that we are currently sitting on another, not convergence, but a payload map onto the convoy. We are going
Another
to
one. What am I hearing? Again. I mean, it's just been the word of the stream. I'll be honest, Orbital, because we keep going to these convoys maps, these convergent maps, anything that has to do with a moving objective back to back to back, and oh my goodness, they banned the Captain America, they banned the Iron Fist. I gotta ask, why did they ban the Captain America first instead of the Mr. Fantastic?
I honestly don't know. But at the same time, you're looking on the other side and you're saying, hey, you know, anything is real at this point. And Mr. Fantastic has been such a foothold and a half. Zaps has played that one to such peak efficiency. The ban, though, of the Emma Frost makes a lot of sense at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. It does. It's gonna help a lot because they know how much of a consistent flow. That ultimate it just distracts the whole team, especially pulls people from the back line. It's such a difference maker, and they're gonna have that Loki online to support them with double strategists, if not triple strategists. Ult if you have 2 online. They're gonna get rid of the Hulk for the side of SVC Scarlet because they know how much that they depended on that. So it's gonna go to another safeguard pick, but these bans are targeted. We're starting to get to very targeted bans. They save the Spidey, though.
And that Spidey has been utilized on both ends, I think. Namely, Game Ninja has been brutal when it comes to finding those solo pickouts and all. It's led to some funny moments as well. Obviously, with the Doctor Strange, it's been some hilarious moments of like, yeah, we know you're coming, Game Ninja. We know you're headed on the way in. So it's a little chance, but saving the thing of all things, really making sure Anunnaki gets a comfortable pickup for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they want to make sure that they have that. They had that like aggressiveness. They know that the dive is going to be there and true. They don't have the Captain America to utilize for the side of U of T as well, because once they banned it, but 2, they know how strong My is with it, so they're going to go for the most best and honest pick of the thing, because they can pull that so far if they utilize it right.
It's a scary moment as we get the Venom band away here, and there's the Human Torch at the end of the day. This was another hero that was utilized to high efficiency. That was very annoying to watch for. SFU Scarlet, though, something to watch for. They are going to be on that defensive side first. They are going to be trying to hold things down as much as possible. And is that actually true?
Yeah,
Marina's had such an interesting mix of character selections. I mean, had the Scarlet Witch, I think, before as well. This is a whole different story.
and we have the Invisible Girl online as well. It's I'm expecting to see this because Invisible Girl has such a strong kit. It's gonna be quite the difference maker, because now if they truly go with that Thor, I don't know if you see the clips on Twitter, but he's been able to truly just truck the high ground and competition if utilized right. And I don't know about you, Zapdos could be held at a chokehold if it's used to counter that Mr. Fantastic, because it's a tank v almost a tank, but he has the DPS to outlive it if needed.
Well, let's see if they can play it out here. Game Ninja literally front and center saying, let's go, guys. We want to end it here as much as possible. Will it work, though? It's a whole different story. Diving in, though, UAT Esports want to push us to a game number 5 with some very unique picks here in the CIE Grand Finals. Let's get it. Game Ninja going ahead and rounding the corner with the rest of the team, but as we talked about, this little melee coming in from Rin will be a whole different taste of the pie. Running a 3-2-1, will it comfortably work? Good shielding to come out here, though, as Game Ninja trying to use that beam, really burn through that shielding and bring about a consistent DPS source. So far, though, good push from UFT Esports as they haven't really been challenged. As Ice Surfer is down immediately thanks to Ange on the Hello, which has been unleashed, banned away in game number 2, and UFT are racking up the damage numbers.
And that's exactly what I expected from the Thor, getting so close up front and uncomfortable to Zapdos, not allowing any sort of movement for him to actually do his job properly, which is mitigation, distraction, and then taking advantage of any low backline and utilizing his buff form to do heavy damage. And they immediately capture first point, Orbital. That's 5 minutes and 24 seconds on the bank for UFT.
I mean, they've done it before. They've flown through some of these capture points. It's really around point 2 and 3. I believe it was in map 2, where you saw both teams just fly through regular time. And then it was an OT that we really got to see that mix. Let's see if it happens here, though, as SFU Scarlet are going to try and lay that beat down. A little bit of a swap here as My chancing out to the Penny Parker of all things. It might not be Spidey or Venom, but that's a whole different twist of the bank.
I think I'm gonna need
swinging down on IC. It's another catch and a half. That's gonna be all bring out the spider net, bring out the electronics. You just rush on through. The entire ground is laid bare. But does it matter? UFT say screw whatever you brought to the damaged field. We are just gonna walk on through.
Bringing some interesting comps from both team composition. I can't lie, to hell such a point as point 2, Penny's not a bad pick here to bring as an adaptive play. They try to utilize it. They got it all so quick, by the way. Insanely quick for a Vanguard to be able to utilize it, but they had the Invisible ult, they had the Loki ult if needed. There wasn't a lot because they had the resources to counter that needed, and it looks like they're gonna get second point swiftly here. I gotta give it to them. If I had a penny for every single time that penny was released on comp, I would have 1 penny, but that's one too many.
That is too real right there, as now it's an answer back. Scarlet able to find their marks thanks to Zaps on Mr. Fantastic. It was saved before, and Zaps just saying hello, fist over fist. They're bringing the pain, but UNT went into back away comfortably. Air Striker Alex, though, who are you going to hit? Slams it down onto, finds a mark in the backside, but Ange and Rin are the main ones to finish things off. Buns and Game Ninja are gone. UFT came back with a resounding answer, as they're about a quarter of the way through this third checkpoint. Song being sung by Icy Surfer, as well as Scarlet are desperately trying to delay. I don't know if it's going to work either. UNT Esports is breaking through every barrier. They get zaps yet again.
I'm telling you that Thor is providing so much of a distraction, so much damage in terms of mitigation as well to Zapdos. He can't perform his job right, and they're trying to use this penny to lock down sectors to give them a foothold to use, but they're able to push through with this thing.
I mean, the thing is gonna be making a wall up if they can. It's 4 minutes left on the bank. UFT trying to force us to a game number 5. Granted, Scarlet has their turn as well, and every single convergence or convoy has gone the distance into OT. Will it happen here? Another bomb comes down as Ange isn't able to really find any damage. And Scarlet are able to live for the moment, but we're on the absolute cuts. There's barely any more space to take. And Scarlet up on the point. This is actually gonna push. Oh my god, to get back on. Scarlet barely get back in time. It's 1.08 meters. I'm gonna back away. UFT Esports, we're so close to finishing this off, but SFU Scarlet find the absolute final hour to dig deep.
You gotta give it a Scarlet. They almost C9, of course. I was quite dangerous. You're getting me on the edge of my seat here, Scarlet, but they were able to lock down with that Loki ult. That Loki ult is so key because they can utilize Luna ult early to be able to deal with a large fight and then just continuing through the late fight on this. But they're gonna start another one because they're just trucking through.
They're gonna try yet again, and when it comes to the Winter Soldier, Game Ninja might be doing it, but in comes the rocket and a half. Rin explodes into the back line thanks to Air Striker Alex and Anabi. And that's a blast from the past as the future is shattered. Scarlet, decimate, or get decimated on the back.
It's moving.
And UNT Esports, the Avengers, crash on through with 2.5 minutes left.
Orbital. The caster curse is real. The caster curse is real. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you, but the people watching this stream now at 10:31 p.m. EST, I hope you brought popcorn. guys, I'm gonna say it again. We could honestly be going to a game 5 situation. Scarlet absolutely pummeled, could not do anything properly, was not able to utilize the Mr. Strange or Mr. Fantastic as much as they did. Why? The Thor was in front of the DPS faces every single push.
30 seconds before you attack.
And
Get ready.
sanity.
I'm taking a breath right now, Ninjax. I'm taking a little bit of a breath. There's been so much action going on. I've literally lost track of who is taking control of these matches, right? It's so out of control. And that last attack was comfortably in the favor of the Avengers. So is it going to happen again? Are they going to be able to deny Scarlet any sort of opening value? I have no idea.
I
Do
don't know
Scarlet
either.
is coming out yet again with that Punisher. Game Ninja is going to try that one,
Look
and
at
I
the
don't think it
aggression.
actually had that much value last time, but this time around, a lot of electricity being handed out, as that is going to be the Iron Man in the back corner. A little bit of clone being brought out as UFT Esports slowly backing away. Look at this cornerstone though. Zaps looking for the back line. If you're able to find that mix, great little toss number 1. You catch out Boo, but an immediate response by Rin is going to force Zaps back. So a great counter. But Scarlet are continuing to make their way forward at a slow pace. Will it continue though is the question.
It's just going to be interesting, but I told you, you saw Ren. He's getting very up close and personal. Low here, getting dragged, but somehow lives. Absolutely positioning of a god, just keeping in track because that Thor is key to this UFT defense. My going on to the Iron Man, but you got to keep that the Iron Man alive because the Mr. Fantastic is aiming for the back line.
Are they going to find it? Still waiting for some of those early blows that both teams have built up more than enough time. Buns goes up with a Hail Maker if they can, and it slams down, but barely finds anyone. Game Ninja getting a revive thanks to Busy B, and Zaps takes that time to find Annihilation again. Ange is also going to find one of their own, but Scarlet seems to have made the best out of the situation. UFT Esports losing their ground very quickly. So Scarlet, really nice opening opportunity.
Yeah, trying to find any instigation, that stagger, the amount of pressure that they were trying to deal onto the Thor, making sure that it wasn't having anything consistently mitigated. So they're going to try to see if they can do it again. They're going to go aggressively into the fight here. Both ults slamming through. I don't know about you, Orbital, but they're trying to dish everything off to stop this early push.
Let's wonder exactly, will UFT Esports, will the Avengers be able to fight back? My eyes are drawn to that sky. Busy Bee and Icy Surfer feel the pain on the ground. Anunabi though, running for their life. My trying to get back with the rest of the team. Is it gonna be enough? Rin with the hammer though, straight to Zap's face. Really concise connections. We're down to just about a minute and a half left, so Scarlet may be feeling a little bit desperate here.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of ults. I was going to mention that they had ults to utilize, but they used it during that fight. But they had responses because Rin was just keeping that. Even though Zapdos was keeping at bay, he was just keeping the attention, making sure the attention was grabbed, and he did his job. They're going to pull the Moon Knight from here as well to see if they can get a Khonshu Moon down onto the position here. Can they last enough? Uh-oh.
I don't know. Rin though slams in with electricity, and Icy Surfer says, let's cool off a little bit. Let's bring it down to our pace. Scarlet though gets slapped around as Airstriker Alex and Anunabi shut them right away. A weird ult from Buns, didn't really connect at all, instead connected with the wall, and that means Scarlet had no answer. Yet another defensive hold as we're down to 45 seconds. Ninjax, it's already looking better and better. Zap though trying to hold on for dear life, slams down on Boo once. Slams down it yet again, but you're denied. Rin with a great stoppage. UFT holding on for dear life as they balance their precarious lives.
28 seconds remaining, and they're trying to use every single resource they have because the respawns are starting to topple over UFT as they don't have a lot of resources. The healers are not there. They're just using everything they have to keep this defense because it's almost going to be going into overtime, Orbital.
I just This is out of this world. Game Ninja trying to fight back, but Scarlet have run out of time. This is their last push. They have to keep everyone on top of this convoy. Willoward Fun's able to find a snap onto against life. And Andrew's falling as well. It seems that they blistered through in this OT in regular time. But will it be enough? Icy Server finds another. SFU Scarlet are all healthy. U of T having to back away. And checkpoint 1 is reached. We add yet another 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta give it up to U of T. That was such a formidable hold on that first point, utilizing Loki to output so much healing into Rin to keep the Mr. Fantastic at bay. The ult tracking was on key for the side of U of T by just making sure that they didn't have, but they just ran out of resources to deal with what SFU had in stock because they have 2 ults now. They will be getting another one as well for the side of UFT. This 2 minutes can go quickly, or it could be the longest one of their lifetime.
It's either gonna hold right now. It's another rebuttal. UFT Esports has some ults, but Rin has denied their chance to use their zaps. Yet again on this Mr. Fantastic that has been saved is bringing so much pain and suffering. The Avengers are not liking what the Fantastic Four is throwing down. Here comes the ults breaking out though. Busy Bee and Icy Surfer sing a song of love and glory. And they're going to keep the entirety of SSU Scarlet alive. It's their indirect answer to Rin and Fufu, though, as Rin still breaks through and finds Game Ninja. Air Striker going on high. Who are you going to find? Slams down a rock, but doesn't really catch anyone by surprise. Zaps is still alive as they brought the ultimate to play. The Air Striker Alex able to single out Busy Bee. And this twist in turn means Scarlet are losing members by the wayside. U of T trying to burn another minute off the clock. Well done on the catch. Had Scarlet go back to the drawing.
My goodness. Orbital, how are they doing it? This is insane work. Oh, whoa, pick, hello. I can't commentate. They're just pulling things out of nowhere. Andrew just making work on trying to stagger such good positioning by distracting the rest of the side of the CSFU. They only have 29 seconds on the second put to make it work, and they only have 2 ultimates online.
I honestly don't know if it's gonna work right now, but what a stun and a half. The thing in the middle, My trying to punch through for the rest of Scarlet. They want to make it and break that pace, but I don't know if they will. OT is gonna catch them by surprise. And so what a slaughter, swapping to that Ella, having the ult available. Down goes the thing. And in OT, there's no one to touch as Scarlet are gone. Viewers of all of CIE, we're going to a game number 5.
1, 2, 3.
To the viewers at home, I apologize for my actions. The caster curse is real. Because we're going to a game 5. I couldn't have asked for a better game, Orbital. It's been pandemonium. Rin, the star of the show in this map, in my opinion. Why? They had a problem and they finally addressed it. The Mr. Fantastic gone for the equation, pulled insane 25 and 4, 31 damaged, mitigated. Let's all take a moment and breathe.
I am attempting to. I am vastly attempting to. Ninjax, you're making it pretty dang difficult though. I am enthralled with what we are watching, and again it comes down to some of these name state players. I mean, Ange with the swap over to the Hela at the very end to help secure a lot of that damage, making sure to take out the thing as well. These were some of the swaps that we saw come through that were very prevalent, right? We saw a massive swap coming in to the Iron Man, as well as Rin making things dicey, right? With that surprise Thor pickup, I was not expecting that at the end of the day.
I wasn't expecting it at all. And just like these bands can tell a short story, but the match tells the whole one. And just the adaptable play. We were seeing Penny Parker on the defense of Scarlet as well. We were seeing the thing come out for them side on the end there as well. That was almost bringing them back. The thing has so much rushing capability. Wow. There's so much adaptable plays here. It's going to be insane.
Oh, and you know what? moving into game number 5, we have another twist in there. They don't need a break. They don't need to take their moment. Oh my gosh, that is crazy
Oh my
to
goodness.
me. Mind-blowing even. No, we're joking. Listen, there is some chaotic news to be had, but honestly, I like that idea. Moving through this moving through the picks and bans as soon as possible and keeping that momentum going for specifically the
It's
side
all about the
of
mental.
yeah, it's all about keeping kind of this pacing and the fact that both teams have kind of decided, hey, it's down to the last moment. There's no other chance to play. And I'm very surprised to say the least that they are willing to try and take that chance overall.
Yeah, and I feel like we don't have a convoy map. It's a domination map. Hydra Charteris base.
Oh. All right, well, let's see what they chose. Let's see what they chose. It's Hell's Heaven. We are going to Hell's Heaven of all
Hell's
things.
Heaven.
This is the only way to end the series, by the way.
Look
This
at
is the
that
only way.
score line, Orbital. 1-3 UFT making a dominating performance. SFU make it back on a 4-3, another 4-3 on Holodejala. Then they make the same. I don't know. I'm seeing a pattern: 1-3, 1-3, 4-3, 4-3. It's all come down to this.
I'm scared. I'm exceptionally scared right now. I don't know what to expect, quite honestly.
We're gonna have to really dive down and dig some tactics on these bands because every single player is warmed, every single player is accustomed, every single player is now experienced with fighting these teams in 4 whole matches. There's going to be targeted bans, there's going to be protected bans, there's going to be key bans, there's going to be non-key bans. We're going to start it right off and making sure that they don't have any my Captain America gameplay, no Hela gameplay.
There has to be a save right now. We knew this was coming as well.
We knew that was coming. They knew, but they have an answer. They know the Thor is there, so they gotta pay attention to. We gotta pay attention to what Scarlet respond with back. Do they ban the Thor here? They didn't save it. That's interesting.
So what do you opt for? Because the Loki has been very, very good on either side, right? Fufu has played that to an exceptional level. And I like this call, once again, going with the Emma Frost. I think that's been utilized by the side of Icy Surfer and the rest of the squad very, very comfortably. So good eyes out so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strong pick. Scarlet are very strong in it. They banned the Magneto instead. Maybe because of the peel that he offers for Ren to be able to make those aggressive plays. I'm interested on to see what they save next, because the Ren seems to be, or the Thor seems to be, that answer for Mr. Fantastic wholeheartedly. They're going to save the Iron Man in this case to make sure they have that sky potential. I don't know. These are all over the place. They're targeted to Central.
I think that's also the difference is, keep in mind, we're on a domination map, right? You need that flexibility. You need that ability to adapt. And a lot of these heroes, some of these are just good in their hands. So the idea is get what's comfortable, try and ban away what's going to kind of screw you over. I love the Magneto ban to come through as well, but this is where it's at. I need to see a group ban from someone. Same with the Human Torch. I think both of these, as much as we like seeing those targeted bans, I think Groot and Human Torch are just a little bit overpowered, and I'd be scared to see that on either end of the teams. No, they go with the Spidey ban, denying it away from Game Ninja. Okay, what's this last ban gonna be? There's the Human Torch. Okay, Groot's on the table. Groot is alive.
Groot. They also, that's the other thing I was just about to point out. The Hulk, it's online as well. They have the option for Gamma in this case scenario. They also, I know Strangers usually utilize it for as well. We've seen the Strange in the past. We see Scarlet going to be immediately going for that Groot, trying to see if they can go for long range plays. Maybe they're going to lock in that Hawkeye. No, they're going to lock in the Invisible Woman to give that extra seal to Zapdos. This is interesting. Why? We've seen the Hulk gameplay before. We've seen him do work. Can they guarantee an stable foundation as UFT to lock it down, because again, survivability is key. We know how much damage it takes to kill a Hulk. My is on the Hulk as well. I don't know about you, I feel like the Groot could make the difference here. The Groot could be the difference here.
Yeah, that's going to be the big mix-up here, and I'm wondering if it's going to work. Bun's going to be running that one. Buns has done it before in this series specifically. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the final game. No matter what, there is no game after this one, right, Ninjax? This is it. This is
this is it.
Ending.
Game 5 situation.
It better be it at all. Oh, they didn't do this to us. They knew what was going to happen. Dang it.
Tech issues. We love technology. W's in chat. Give me the W's in chat for technology. W's in chat. We love it. But it's going to give us a moment to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. BMO, thank you so much. Esports Canada, Solaris, Strawberry, and Egg. You guys make these insane games possible. We're in game 5 here. Thank you to BMO. There's so many smart options you can do with your finance, and reaching out to them is peak performance. Insane tactics, because you can go to next level, BMO next level, to be able to take out Sean Frame, playing some of your favorite games, but also answering some of your financial questions. I know some of the best advice that he gave in the stream yesterday was budget. Managing your budget, managing your money, making sure that you have your life together in that scenario. But you can also do even more questions by going out to the contest, signing up with a representative, because you can check out their student offers that they offer to also possibly win in the contest one out of five $25 gift cards. And you can also check out their student offers, because you can talk with a professional about your financial issues, and you also, to sign up with them, could get $125 plus 6 months of Domino Pizza. Insanity.
Yep. Yeah, we also want to give a big shout out over to Strawberry and Egg, one of our charity show sponsors out there, a new local business located in Vancouver, BC, that specializes in making large video game and anime themed plushies. If you want to get one of your favorite characters kind of made there, you can go ahead and have it, and then you can store it on a shelf like the one behind me. It's very, very nice. Everything is 100% handmade with quality as a top priority. If you're interested, go ahead and send a message through their Instagram at Strawberry and Egg. They have 50% off all items. You say that CIE sent you. Also, a big shout out to Solaris as well. Up-and-coming gaming organization focused on competitive Marvel rivals, driven by a passion to compete at the highest level. Thank you again to all of our sponsors here on the day. We're very excited that we get to continue this as well. So, yeah, we're going to go to a break. We have gotten some words. We don't know how long this tech pause is going to go, so please go ahead, bear with us. We will be right back. We will have game 5 underway shortly.
Don't go anywhere.
are back. We are set. Everyone is connected. Everyone is set. We got a game 5 on our hands, and you know it's going to come down to the absolute nitty-gritty. What the heck is this crosshair?
What is this
Fufu has
quad? I
swapped
was about to
between
say.
every single crosshair in this game, but who cares? It's first touch commendations here as both squads are actively chasing that moment, that piece of the puzzle. They want this first point, and it is currently unlocked. Already we're seeing some of the Hulks already knocked out of the major form, knocked down into Baby Bruce. And that's not a good look as UFT charging into the back line saying, hey, we can get the tank out very quickly.
Oh, but they will be able to pull it off, getting that Hulk. That's crucial, and they will be able to take it down to Tiny Bruce. Good early DPS. This is insane tactics because they're trying to focus on the Hulks to not have to deal with it later on, but Zap with that long range will be able to utilize his insane kit to keep on that DPS as they always have been in the past.
It might only continue as we're still waiting for that first turn.
Ult.
I'm curious where it's going to come from, though. As you called, some of the ults coming out here, Fufu as well as Ice-T have gone ahead and delivered. But first turn, first capture goes the way of SFU Scarlet. My though, wondering exactly who is going to stand to them as they take that kill immediately. Ange is already thrown down, but here comes the fantastic. Zaps has done this before. They slammed their way to victory, finding yet again. And the twists and turns continue as the same hero will make their mark yet again.
Zaptis on the Mr. Fantastic is just a brutal combo. You do not want that guy in your ranked lobbies, let me tell you, because he's been able to make God work on this. Maximum pulse coming from behind. I don't know if it's going to hit anything. It will not. He's just going to try to burn it off, just see if he can pick anything. They're going to switch off to that. They know how much these tanks are going to be hurting, so they're going to switch to the Wolverine. I can't say, and I will say, good tactics. They're trying to keep this up. They're trying to combo. It's already 53% remaining. UST are having to adapt immediately.
You got maybe like 1 or 2 more good fights in it, is the way that I look at it. You got maybe 1 or 2 more good fights. Airstriker Alex, though, saying we need this fight to work if we want to turn it around. Scarlet, though, able to rebuttal and keep themselves very, very healthy as Busy P sends out that song and dance, allowing Mai to break out the fist. The Groot is slowing them down, but look at this tornado of damage. Bloody Brawl back and forth as Airstriker Alex throwing down with the best of them, but yet again, both sides not really getting that much out of it. Zap's now stepping up with the Fist of Fury. Are they going to work? Obviously, there's no Iron Fist in this one, but Scarlet denying yet again, and Buns finds a snapshot onto Fufu, and meanwhile, this entire time, the point is counting up. We are at 96%. A solid, good team fight will bring it to win for SFU, and it looks like they've done so. They take 2 away, Rin forced away as well. Airstrike Alex goes down, and Ange and Fufu aren't going to reach there in time. Round 1 goes the way of SFU Scarlet.
That was such a dominant performance from SFU Scarlet. They were able to just absolutely hammer down what they needed with that Hulk. Just nailing down, being so aggressive, and then they were able to go in and out so quick because they could rely on Game Ninja doing long range damage, Zap doing long range damage, the group protecting the backline, peeling, and just clutching ult with that early Invisible Girl ult. Key moments, key plays. They're trying to adapt, but they just had a loss of foothold in the beginning. UFT gotta lock in.
Yep. This is. I guess the question comes about, do you think this is gonna go to a map 5 round 3 moment?
I believe it's possible, really possible. They know that the mistakes that they pulled, they know that the team composition is there. Groot is a menace currently. You can already see that they're going to try to get an early instigation with this combo that they have with Wolverine and Hulk. So they have something cooking. They're thinking, they're adapting. You got to have faith in it.
Well, do I have faith in Rin being able to snap up a moment? Yes and no. We've seen this work sometimes in the favor and sometimes not, as they pinch straight in the back line, dive in, dive out, and now you're locked
It's
a little
stunned.
bit. Rest of the team trying to dive in to help out, but I don't think it's going to work. Question marks abound as well, as this is a dangerous spot. And bringing out that first damage source, though, as UNT Esports, the Avengers get on the point first, and it's SFU having to battle their way out.
I mean, they did the job done. They threw in Rin early in the fight. They had to deal with it at the front door, created that early pressure. Did work, and that means they force Scarlet on the back pedal. Even though Zapdos is taking early game on the top floor, Game Ninja will be able to take down Anjad. That's the Harbor or Namor gone.
And it's a really good catch. Game Ninja does it yet again. And it's always this Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier has been so devastating in every single twist. Busy Bee, though, with the ult keeps everyone alive. And the song and dance is so good. Matched again against Boo Boom. And that's both teams just staying alive the entire time. Air Striker Alex, though, trying to push everyone out of the range and saying, yo, you don't get that freedom. But instead it's Scarlet to find a mix and a half. What a brawl. Down goes again. Down goes Rin. And with a lot of those players off the point, Scarlet should be able to twist this back into their favor.
And they do. Able to utilize that beautiful invisible girl all late into the round. They knew that they could survive it, having the dedication with those picks, because they didn't have enough. UFT didn't have damage at all. They took down the Namor, they took down the Wolverine. They just could outlive it.
Well, right now we're watching the timer tick up 58% so far. Scarlet in their own, waiting for a chance behind. Is it going to work? That's a call down. My losing their life. Air Striker Alex taking a twist as well. And a little bit of a high-fisted handle as Zap bringing the pain yet again. This Mr. Fantastic has worked so far in the past 3 games. Not really able to find much more than a little bit of silly string. So problems abound as UFT seem to have found a way to combat the Mr. Fantastic and keep themselves in the right angle. Now they're going to try to break their way in a different angle. Buns is going to be dropped low. Yes, they do. And it twists right back. U of T capture when it's at 43% for Scarlet. Ninjex, we're looking at a round 3 right now.
Look who's online, Orbital. It's the Thor, the answer that they were needing for this Mr. Fantastic. They whip it out and we're able to bring the pain, truly, because if the Groot doesn't have any availability to actually set up those walls without the pressure that the Hulk gives, it doesn't matter because they don't have the long range damage to combat him. So they're going to try to do it again. It's going to be all central. UFT have everything they need to disable they need, but Groot is going to have to become in clutch along with the Lunar Snow for the side of Scarlet to be able to pull this through.
It looks like they might have another turn. OT is here. Scarlet do not want to go to a round 3. They battled so hard to get here. They started out strong, but Air Striker Alex bringing the pain. And the Hulk is raging in more ways than one. Out comes Rin on this Thor, trying to swing the hammer as best as possible. But Buns, where did Buns come from? Buns lays the smackdown with the Groot. And it's an OT time turner as we got Scarlet with the mix.
And this is dangerous now for UFT. They have all ult, but as Scarlet did have to dedicate their Luna, they only have one strategist ult to survive the onslaught. Can they last for an Hulk ultimate to keep them in the game here? We know Maima has done it before. Can they do it again? They're already going to do this early instigation to see if they can go through. They're getting it started. Tactics are flying.
I think this is going to be a whole mix. Ninja, what a slam and a half. Break their backs and more. Only needed a reset of 3 to claim 5. Brutality by the Winter Soldier.
They didn't use the strategist combo with the Loki. It's gonna be interesting to see how they come back. They only have one or five good ults left. If they can build it up, Thunder rains down from the competition. Can they pull it off? Overtime, both sides.
Crazy job here as Scarlet are battling back. We're at 99-99, and UNC are losing this battle, but they're on point. They're on point right now. They're twisting it back. That's like, guys, what just happened? We are a millimeter away, and they carefully plot back and away. OT is rounding down. Scarlet 1 step away. OT away. UNT Esports are denied. And that will be the end as it's GG's all around. SFU claim the CIE Grand Finals.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. What a match. I don't think there's anything else to say. 22-3, the picks of a lifetime, the battle of consistent gameplay. Orbital, it was a pleasure to cast this game with you.
It really, really was. And I mean, I gotta ask because we're gonna get a chance at an interview. But if there is someone that stood out in your mind in this series, in the amazing 5 games that we got to watch, who in your mind stood out throughout the entirety of this series?
Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Right then and there. I mean, I'm a tank player, I'm a tank lover myself, but they tank role holds such prominence in a hero game like this because you not only have to be aware of every single ability cooldown and positioning, you also have to be responsible by making way for your DPS and your healers to push and make game winning plays. Well, you just take everything to the face.
It really, really is. The tank in the front line, of course, there's more to offer as well. And honestly, it was a thrill. You can see how far SFU pushed the envelope and how this match went. Their wins came in OTs of immense proportions, and it can only go up from there. We are going to leave you with this screen because we want to give a big shout out to the entire squad, but also to get eyes on the inside. We are going to get an interview with one of the members of SFU Scarlet and see their thoughts on this grand finals. Don't go anywhere. The CIE day number 6 will be concluding in just a bit. Do not touch that browser. It has been a very long day so far, but we are happy to go ahead and crown a winner as well as get a little bit of an interview rolling. We got Zaps coming in here, the Mr. Fantastic himself, among other DPS.
Oh my
athletes.
goodness.
How are you feeling after that series? It was an absolute banger of a marathon. Were you expecting it to go 5 games?
Honestly, I didn't know much. It was tough. So going 5 games was somewhat expected, but we managed to pull through in the end.
Yeah, I gotta ask, like going, like I just kind of want to get your more comments on that. Just going into map 1, and then having to deal with UFT with a dominant performance like that. What was kind of mentalities getting ready for map 2? What was you guys, some of the calms, some of the plays?
So we were just, a lot of it was figuring out what we should ban and work around. And I think after that, everything started to go smoothly. And like once we changed up our hero picks as well. So like, you know, I swapped off Fist to go Fan because honestly, Fan is my comfort pick. I'm gonna be honest. He's my little guy.
Wow, nice. I mean, honestly, 24 in 4 on that last map. I gotta give credit where credit's due. And I think you got 68 on map 3 as well. Insane numbers. And again, for map 2 and 3, were you guys keeping the same momentum? Was the energy pumping up? Were you guys worried at all? Were you guys getting nervous that they were going to retaliate back, knowing how strong UFT was?
Honestly, I think we just even try to think about it. We were just looking forward to the next game, just trying to push through it all, and just see if we can win this thing.
Yeah, and obviously, game 5, you guys are 2-2. Rocky, how'd you guys complete it?
I think it all started with the ban phase again. We decided to let the fist through because we were worried about their fist the entire time because it could heavily damage our comp. But once we let it through and then we worked around that, then it's just started to go our way, I think.
Hmm.
All right. Well, with that being said, Zaps, you guys have played an immaculate series, and congratulations on being the CIE champions here. My question to you
Yeah.
now is, you know, what are your final words being stated out to the audience? What are your final kind of call outs, I would say? Any passing words, any happiness, or anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
Everyone should start playing Mr. Fantastic at
Agreed.
least once in their life.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. That's what we're leaving this on, and I appreciate it. Zach, congratulations on the victory.
Congratulations.
Praise for you from all of us here. And again, congratulations on the SFU Scarlet win.
Thank you.
All right. With that being said, we are done for the day. You've heard about our sponsors and
Oh,
all here at
boy.
CIE. We are more than excited to see more action, though, laid out as we have Valorant to conclude over the next 2 days. Not only that, we are also going to see more panels throughout the entirety of the weekend. It all kicks off tomorrow as well. I believe starting at 3 p.m. ET. I want to double check that. 3:30 p.m. ET. Make sure to stay eyes on that one as we are going to get about making your mark as a content creator. Again, a shout out to BMO as well as to all the awesome other sponsors out there. We thank you so much. My name is Ordo. With me has been Ninjex. We had an amazing production side as well. Before we roll out, I want to give their just dues. The Lord on observation as well as Concord on that major production. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye-bye.